Hi, everybody. It's Karen Thaxton at Marketing Words. I'm here with Brandon from Aweber, and we're going to kick off what I think is going to be a very insightful web training about engaging with your audience, building an email list, and using lots of automation to take care of all the routine types of things, but also to create some really cool segments and do some very neat high-end types of automation with your email list. And I can tell you now, everybody, the people that I connect with that are Amazon sellers are saying, hey, Amazon has way too much control over the customers. We don't even get to connect with our customers hardly at all. So when you launch a new product, there's no way to inform them that you've got something else for them to purchase. People that are service providers have the same issue. People that provide digital products online or that are marketers online have issues. Copywriters need to get in touch with people. And email is one of the highest converting marketing mediums that there are. The problem is, especially if you're smaller and you don't have a website, you don't have a blog, you aren't sure how to create an email list so that you can accomplish this, it gets frustrating. And all the plugins and pieces of software and whatnot can be extremely expensive. So Brandon is here to show us today how we can get an engaged list, whether you've started one or this is all brand new to you. And that way you'll be able to communicate directly with your customers whenever you want to. I have been using Aweber in my company since around 2004, 2006, a long time. And there are a lot of other companies out there. I've had plenty of opportunities to switch, and I have never done it because Aweber just does a jam up job. Big fan of theirs, big fan of theirs. So I was excited to have Brandon come and do this webinar for us. I'm going to step out of the way, Brandon, and let you take over and show us what we need to know about building an engaged list and using all this exciting automation.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Karen. It's great to be here. I was really grateful for the invitation to come and speak to your audience and provide a bit more education around email marketing, and specifically email automation, and how we can use it to build an engaged audience of buyers, because that's ultimately what we are striving for in the end is to make money in our businesses. And so email marketing is a fantastic way of doing that, and the advent of email automation has really made that a whole lot easier and has given you a lot more time back in your day to focus on the things that you want to focus on. So first off, a little bit about me. I'm Brandon. I'm husband and father to 4 boys. I'm the marketing communications manager here at Aweber. Started with Aweber back in 2013, and I've worked in the marketing and communications field for the last 12 plus years. I myself create and maintain my own email lists in my own Aweber account, and I have a real deep passion for email marketing and the impact that it can have on businesses, on passions, and other areas of life. A little bit about Aweber. We are one of the world's leading email marketing providers. We've been around the longest. We were founded 20 years ago in 1998. And one of our claims to fame is that we were the originator of the email autoresponder, sort of the first beginnings of email automation. Since then, a lot's changed, and email automation has become a lot more sophisticated as well. We help hundreds of thousands of businesses worldwide build stronger connections with their audience and make more sales. Our founder and CEO, Tom Colzer, has an undying passion for helping businesses succeed with email marketing. We've been recognized in many ways, both by the industry as well as by associations, customer service, sales associations. For the last couple of years, we've been recognized for the Stevie Award for our CS team, our customer solutions team. They're a fantastic group of individuals, and so we love email marketing. We love helping businesses connect and grow. But probably our most important thing is our people. I work with an incredible team of passionate professionals here whose sole purpose every day is to help business owners and entrepreneurs like yourselves become successful in their business using email marketing and email automation. We work really hard to help our customers succeed, but we also have a lot of fun doing it. So a few quick things before we begin. This webinar is set to run about 60 minutes. We're going to leave some time for some Q&A at the end. So please, if you think of any questions along the way, note those down, throw them into the question function of GoToWebinar, and then we'll get to those afterwards. I want to make sure we can do our best to cover as many as possible. And again, just a reminder, this is being recorded, and we'll send a recording of it to you after the webinar. So if you miss something or don't remember what we covered, don't worry about it. You'll get a link to it. Can get it a refresher anytime. So what are we going to learn today? We're going to first cover off on the value of email marketing, make sure we have a really good understanding of what it can do, what benefit it can provide for your businesses. And then we're going to walk through 4 steps to building an engaged audience of buyers using email automation. I'm going to share with you some simple use cases that whether you're a beginner or an intermediate, that you can employ to get started right away. And throughout that, I'm going to provide you some demos of our own email automation tool and show you how it works. And then lastly, like I said, we're going to have some live Q&A at the end. So please make sure to ask your questions throughout. So let's go ahead and get started. So question for you, how are you marketing your product or your service, or products or services? I'm sure you're doing that in a number of ways. Any number of ways, including Google Ads, including LinkedIn and other social media, SEO, and so on. There's a number of ways that you could be marketing your businesses. However, there's a much better way. That's hopefully by the time we go through this, you'll understand just how critical email marketing is. And that's email marketing. That's the most effective way to market your business. I'm going to cover a few reasons why. First of all, email is everywhere. I'm sure if I was able to speak to you in a room and had you raise your hands, how many of you have an email account? I'm sure all of you would say you have an email address or an email account with Gmail or Yahoo or Gmail or excuse me, Yahoo, AOL, you name it. I'm sure you have an email account. In fact, 92% of online adults use email every day. Excuse me, in general, 61% of those individuals use it every single day. So it's certainly highly used. So email also gives you control, like Karen was saying at the beginning. It gives you control over who you can communicate with and when you want to communicate. Social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as marketplaces like Amazon have control over your followers and your customers. You can't contact them without going through those sites. And if something changes or you lose access to those accounts, you also lose the ability to interact with those followers and those customers. One thing that is important to remember about social media is that they're always constantly changing their algorithms. Currently, on average, businesses who have a Facebook page only reach about 2% of their actual followers or fans. So they're really kind of holding control of that interaction, that relationship. So anytime they make a change, it becomes harder and harder to reach. So email puts that control back in your hands and gives you the ability to communicate with whom you want to communicate and when you want to do it. Email is also permission-based. That means people have to raise their hand and say, I want your emails. You can't just send emails to anyone without their approval. That's what's known as spam. Why is permission important? Well, first of all, it helps your reputation. It helps your deliverability, making sure that you're getting into their inbox and you're not ending up in their spam folders. So a couple of quick stats here. 95% of people who sign up for a newsletter consider the email useful. So people value the emails that they're getting. They opt into things that they are interested in, that they want to receive more information about. So they're typically happy subscribers. That's why it's such an effective means of communication. Email also has much better reach than Facebook and Twitter. Like I said before, Facebook fans typically see, 2% of your Facebook fans typically see your posts. That's such a small little percentage of your overall potential there. So email certainly has a much better reach. A message is 5 times more likely to be seen in an email than it is on Facebook. And one more stat about, there's a couple more stats after this, but people prefer to receive emails over other communication, other marketing channels. Here's a quick stat for you. 72% of people prefer to receive promotional content through email versus 17% who prefer to receive it through social media. Email is also really easy to monetize. And this ties in really well with the last point, that people prefer to receive promotional content through email. And you can use your email to monetize your business and drive sales and revenue. 66% of online consumers have made a purchase as a result of an email. Remember all those Cyber Monday and Black Friday and holiday specials you get? Those are all intended to drive a sale. And so 66% of consumers have made a purchase as a result of an email they received. One more quick stat here. The average order value of an email is at least 3 times higher than that of social media. So not only can you make more sales through using email, but typically your order value is much higher than you typically see with going through social media or another marketing channel. And email has an unreal ROI. I've already alluded to this, but compared to other channels, it has one of the best ROIs of any marketing channel. In fact, according to the DMA, it provides a 4,300% ROI compared to what you're investing. Who wouldn't love that, right? And then email is also 40 times more effective in acquiring new customers than Facebook or Twitter. And then real quickly, one more little stat here is that email is the single most effective tactic for awareness, acquisition, conversion, and retention, according to some research that was done by GigHome. And the last point I want to make here, and this kind of kicks us off into the discussion about automation, is that it's really easy to automate. It's no longer this sort of, manually pushing out emails over and over again. We've gotten to a point now where we can really automate a lot of this and save you a lot of time. Over 75% of email revenue is generated by triggered campaigns or automated campaigns, rather than a one-size-fits-all campaign, one that you just kind of blast out to everybody. And 50%, so using marketing automation can increase your conversion rates by 50%. So you can see why we get really excited about email. There's a lot of great benefits to it, and it's a really effective way of growing your business and driving sales and revenue when it's used effectively. So, all right, let's jump into how we can build an engaged audience. Those 4 steps that I mentioned at the beginning. There's 4 steps to really build an engaged audience of buyers using email automation. Your first step is your incentive, and I'm going to dive into each one of these a little deeper here. But real quick, this kind of give you an overview. First step is your incentive. Your second step is your sign-up form. Your third step is your automated email series, which we're gonna demo. And your last step is your promotional effort. So before you start promoting anything, it's really important to get through those first steps before you start driving traffic and driving customers to you. So step 1, your incentive. You need an incentive, something that's going to entice somebody to ultimately give you their email address and agree to receive information from you. So why do you offer an incentive? People are really protective of their inboxes. I don't know about you, but I don't let just anybody into my inbox. I don't subscribe to everything. I'm very selective, and so people need a reason to share their email address with you. That's why an incentive is so important. Incentives can help you stand out from other businesses. I'm sure that Karen mentioned many of you are Amazon sellers. I'm sure there's hundreds, if not thousands, of Amazon sellers out there. So an incentive is a way to help you stand out among the crowd. And then people love rewards. They love being rewarded for their actions. So when they're willing to give you their email address, they expect something in return, some sort of reward for that. There's any number of incentives that you can offer. I've listed some of the most common ones that we come across. But if you have an incentive, fantastic. If you're trying to figure out what kind of incentives you can offer, here's some ideas for you. So a chance to learn more about your products first. You'll be the first to know about new products that are coming out. Coupons, discounts, free stuff is always very incentivizing, very enticing to buyers. Free products like buy one get one offers or buy one get one half off offers. Those are also very nice incentives, especially if you're selling a physical product. Rewards clubs or memberships are also great incentives. And then lastly, free educational content like checklists, plans, templates, courses, printables. If that makes sense for your business, that's a fantastic way and a very low barrier for people to give you their email address. So your second step is your sign up form. This is once you've got your incentive, you figured out, okay, this is how I'm going to entice people with either a free offer or a coupon or a free checklist of some sort. Once you figure out what that is, now you need something to actually capture those email addresses or collect those email addresses from your potential buyers, and your sign up form is the means to do that. So what's a sign up form? It's an online form designed to collect a subscriber's email address and any other personal information you wish to collect that's pertinent to your business. Now, I'm going to cover kind of what's important or what you need to, what's some tips for developing or designing an effective sign-up form. But before I do that, I want to kind of cover off on what types of sign-up forms are out there. There's a number of them here. So a dedicated landing page. If you have a website, you can create a page that's strictly meant to capture an email address, and it's got a form, and that's all it has. You can also put forms within the body of your web pages, and those are called inline forms. They could be horizontal, they could be along the side of your website in the I don't know what you call it, but along the side. There's also some forms that you can make appear. That they're often called pop-up forms or lightbox forms, and those can pop up right away. You can time them so that they pop up at certain, after a certain amount of time on the website. They can pop up after a certain number of pages you visit. There's any number of ways that you can employ a lightbox or a pop-up form. They're typically a little more intrusive, so you have to use them a little more. You have to be smart about how you use them, so you don't cause your website visitors or your buyers to get frustrated or annoyed with them. A slide-in form is another type of form that just kind of, as you're visiting a website, it slides in from the side. It's not really intrusive, but it catches your eye because there's some motion there. And the last couple of things here, if you don't have a website, and some of you may not because you may be strictly selling through Amazon, for example. If you don't have a website, a couple ways to capture or collect email addresses without an actual physical form is through integrations. If you're using PayPal or WordPress or any type of e-commerce like WooCommerce, for example, those all integrate with many ESPs, including Aweber, and so you can collect email addresses through the actual purchase process. So if someone buys something, you can integrate it with your Aweber account. It can pull that buyer's information right into your Aweber account, and you can continue to communicate with them through email marketing. And the last one I'll note up here is another way. If you don't have a website, Aweber also has hosted sign-up forms. It's just a single web page with a form on it, very basic, almost similar to a dedicated landing page, except that it's not on your own website. So a few tips for creating an effective sign-up form. I'm not going to go through and demo how to create a sign-up form, but I want to give you a few tips here. I want to focus the majority of the webinar and demo on actual email automation part of it. But let's cover off on a few tips here for creating an effective sign-up form. First off, make sure you're using clear and concise language. You don't want it to be really lengthy and really lots and lots of copy. You also don't want it to be very vague. You want it to be very clear what they're signing up for, what they're going to be getting out of it, why they should sign up. And that kind of leads into the second point. Explain your incentive. Why should they sign up? really kind of provide that value in your sign-up form language to make sure that they understand what they're going to be getting when they sign up. Use your entry fields minimally. I know I've seen a lot of people use many entry fields, like they ask for name, email address, phone number, company information, all these things. Those are all things that are going to cause your potential subscriber or potential buyer to steer away from signing up for that. So the less information you can ask up front, the easier it is to capture those. Really, all you really need at the very minimum is an email address. So I'd recommend capturing the name and email address, because having the name allows you to provide a little bit more personalization in your emails. And then if you want to capture any additional field, any specifics about your business, so if you have different products you offer and you want to get a sense of what they might be interested in, you can ask a couple more questions there about those, and you can use those custom fields as a way to do that. And then lastly, once they've read your information, what you're offering, your incentive, they put their information in. Your last step there is your call to action button. And that's really the little button at the bottom that says that allows them to submit their information. So with that call to action button text, a lot of people just kind of keep it as submit or sign up. It's not very descriptive. I would recommend you provide some text that relates to the action that they're going to be taking. So for example, if you're offering a checklist, a free checklist, an example of an effective call to action text would be, give me my free checklist. Or something of that nature that describes what they're going to be getting by clicking on that button. Here's a couple examples of some sign-up forms I created earlier today, just to kind of give you a sense of what I'm talking about. So I'm very descriptive up front. I keep it pretty concise. They know that they're going to be getting exclusive discounts and a chance to learn about new products first. And they know that as they sign up, they're going to be getting email alerts as well as a 25% off coupon on their next order. So they can put their name and their email address in there, and then the call to action button is very descriptive as well. It's tying back to what they're going to be getting. They're going to be getting that 20% off coupon. On the right is another example with one more question that's added that helps me understand a bit more about them and how I can communicate with them more effectively. So in this example and throughout this demo, I'm going to be playing the role of a mobile phone case provider. Okay, so one of the questions I threw into this other example here is, what kind of device do you own? Do you own an iPhone, an Android, or a tablet? Because if I know that, then I can provide them more specific content around the products that they're interested in, or that they may be interested in. So on to the next step here, and this is where we're going to spend the bulk of the time of the webinar is on step 3, your automated email series, and how to go about developing an automated series of emails. So just give me 1 second here. So let me first start off by describing or defining what email automation is. So email automation is the ability to send emails automatically to specific subscribers at specific times based on specific actions or criteria about them. Okay. How's that different from email marketing? Typically, traditional email marketing is, I'm going to write up a newsletter. I'm going to send it out to either all my subscribers or a small portion of my subscribers. And it's a very manual process. You've got to do that over and over and over again. Whereas email automation allows you to have that already set up and running on its own automatically. And it's a very smart way to target specific subscribers at specific times, with depending on different criteria about them or actions that they're taking with either your website or within your emails themselves. So why use automation? Why use email automation? Well, first of all, it lets you get the right message to the right person at the right time. Instead of blasting an email out to all of your subscribers and all your buyers, it really helps you hone in on what a particular subscriber is interested in and getting the right message to them at the time that they need it to drive that sale. and that leads to the next point, is that it drives more action with your emails. When a subscriber feels like the content they're getting in your emails is more personal, that they understand you, or that you understand them, excuse me, they're more likely to take action on it because it's more personal to them, it's more meaningful and relevant to them. The third, I think, is really valuable for businesses, especially smaller businesses, is that it saves you time. You don't have a lot of time to work on your business, and so email automation really allows you to free up some of that time and focus on the things that matter most to you. And lastly, it lets you work smarter, not harder. Going back to the third point there in saving you time, it takes a lot of that time out of the equation and really allows you to use your time more effectively. So I'm going to run through the email automation demo within Aweber. But before we do that, I want to make sure that we're clear on what a few phrases or terms mean, because you'll see these throughout the demo here. So first of all, there's 4 terms that you're going to hear: segmentation, campaigns, tags, and automations. I'm going to define those real quick before we jump into the demo so that you understand and it can follow along more effectively. So what is subscriber segmentation? So segmentation is the process of grouping subscribers into smaller subgroups based on certain criteria. It's going to depend on a variety of businesses have different criteria, and you'll have to apply it to your own business. But it's really just the way of figuring out how to talk to specific subscribers differently. You may have subscribers that kind of fit different personas, or maybe have different interests that align with the different products or services that you offer. And that's a way to kind of hone in on those and communicate with them more effectively. So creating segments, you can create segments based on interests and types. Some examples here is if you've got subscribers that are if you offer a service that is geared towards beginners versus advanced, you can create segments around that. If you offer products that are for both men and women, you can create segments that are of customers or buyers who are interested in men's products versus women's products. If you have customers versus prospects, you can kind of segment them in that way, so you're communicating differently with customers than you would a potential buyer. And then one last example here is if your business is around, talks about different topics. I give an example here of sort of a food blog or a food company. You may have gluten-free products and paleo products and low-carb products. So you can segment your audience based on those interests as well. And then you can send those either one-time broadcasts, or you can craft automations within campaigns, which is our email automation platform. So what is a campaign? This is a quick little screenshot of what you'll see when we jump into the demo here. A campaign is a series of emails that are automatically sent to your subscribers at specific times based on specific criteria. So this is, you've got the segmentation, which is your groups of subscribers. You got your actual campaign, which is the series of emails that get sent to those different subscriber segments. What is a tag? A tag is really a word or a phrase that is appended to a subscriber based on their interests, based on their actions. A tag can be used to group or segment your subscribers and trigger those automated campaigns, those automated series of emails. It can also be used to create dynamic subscriber segments to whom you can send those one-time emails. So it's effective in both email automation as well as your manual one-time emails that you're sending out. If you're sending out a newsletter, you can create dynamic subscriber segments based on those tags when a subscriber is tagged in a certain way. Within the Aweber email automation platform, you can tag subscribers in a number of ways. You can tag them using the campaigns automations, which I'll explain in the demo. You can tag them using supported integrations. So I mentioned integrations like PayPal or WooCommerce, for example. You can tag them as they come in through your integrations. You can tag them manually within the Aweber account. You can go into the subscriber management and actually apply a tag to somebody if if you know of something about a specific subscriber, you can do that, or you can also apply it in bulk. And we can cover that a little bit later as well. You can apply a tag when importing subscribers into your account. So let's say you're moving over to Aweber from MailChimp, for example. You can apply tags as you're importing those subscribers into your account. And then the last two ways to apply tags is through the Aweber Atom app, which is our mobile sign-up app on iPhone and Android, as well as using Aweber forms, sign-up forms. So let's go ahead. We're going to jump into the demo now. I'm going to show you how to create that automated email campaign.
So Brandon.
Yep.
Just to give a real life example of segments and tags and all that stuff, I have one primary list that I started years ago. I have other lists as well, but this one particular list has everybody that does everything all lumped into it, because way back in 1999 or 2004, or whenever I started using Aweber, every single email company out there did things the same way. You put everybody into one list pretty much, and that's all there was. There was no segmenting. So when I send anything to this particular list, maybe it's an email about Amazon stuff, and people that don't sell on Amazon are still getting it. Maybe it's an email that applies to service providers, which wouldn't apply to digital marketers or Amazon sellers or other people. So with this new type of automation, my big original jumbled list can now be segmented so that I can pull out individuals. I can go in and tag the Amazon people with Amazon. I can go in and tag the digital marketers with whatever kind of tag I want to make up, digital marketing or whatnot. Then when I send an email to that list, I can just select, send it to this tag, send it to the Amazon people, only send it to the digital marketers. And even though they're all in that same list, Aweber's system will pull out only the Amazon people and not send it to anybody else. So it's a huge save. Not only does it send your folks exactly the information they're looking for, but you don't have to keep creating new lists for every tiny little thing that you want to create. You can just pull those people out of one big list.
That's right. That's right. All right, let me jump into the actual Aweber account here. Now this is my own account, but I've set up a few different lists to kind of demonstrate how some of this works. And Karen, that was a really good segue into kind of building this out and actually showing you how it works here. So perfect. All right, so right here, what you're looking at is the campaigns dashboard. I've got a few campaigns already kind of created here, but I want to show you how to create one from scratch. So I've set up this draft campaign here for our campaigns demo. You'll see a little preview over here. There's nothing in it right now, so we're going to jump into it and build it out real quick. So very simple interface. You've got your actions over here, what you want to do in the campaign. And over here, you'll see more information where you can start to customize some of your campaign. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at how this campaign is starting. So this campaign is starting at the moment someone subscribes on subscribe, and it's going to all subscribers. Now I can filter that by specific. If I want to look at where they're coming from, if I want to look at the different elements that they pick within the sign-up form itself. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and keep it blank just for simplicity's sake. I'm going to show you another way to do this. You can also create campaigns based on when a tag is applied. Okay, so when someone is tagged with something, you can put them into a campaign. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to show you how to build it out based on anybody who subscribes to your list. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to drag in a message. Okay. Now you can build this out. You can have it be one email. You can have it be 100 emails. It's totally up to you. And the way to do that is to apply wait periods between each of those messages. Otherwise, your messages will go out one after another until they're all out. So you can customize the period of time between each of those emails. It can be 1 day, it can be 30 minutes, it could be 1 week, 1 month. It all depends on the cadence that you want to do. And then these messages. So if I click on this message here, I can choose a message that's already been created within my account, or I can create a brand new message. I've created a few messages beforehand, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop these in. So this first one would be the delivery of that coupon. Remember that sign up form that I showed you earlier? This would be the first email they get. Thanks for signing up. And below is your 20% off coupon code, as well as some links to some of the products that they might be interested in. So I'll select that. I'm going to put a wait period in here of a week, and then I'll put my next message in, and that might be stuck on which case is perfect for you, sort of reiterating the products that we offer, as well as a reminder about that 20% off coupon. I'll throw in another wait period here and one more message, and I can just keep building this out as long as I want. I'll throw in this get an additional 10% off your case to motivate them a bit more to take action. And like I said, you can just keep building this out if you'd like to. I'm gonna stop at that point just to for time's sake. But it's a really simple way to build out an automated email campaign. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit save, and I can see all those messages previewed here. Once I activate this campaign and subscribers start going through the campaign, you'll start to see metrics, open and click rates within these within this dashboard right here. All right, so let me jump back to the webinar real quick, or the presentation real quick, and cover a couple more items here. So first of all, what is an automation? So excuse me, I've mentioned email automation as sort of the concept of automatically sending emails, but an actual automation is a little bit different. It's sort of like this. If you're basically telling the system that if a subscriber does this or takes this action, then I want you to do this. So for example, an automation allows you to add or remove tags or remove a subscriber entirely from a campaign when a subscriber clicks a link in a campaign email or opens a campaign email. So the automations that Aweber currently offers are the ability to tag somebody when they either click a link or open an email within your automated email campaign, or you can remove a subscriber entirely from the campaign when they click or open an email. Okay, so why is this valuable? Well, it creates segments based on their behavior. So before you were creating segments based on their interests, based on characteristics about them. Now you can go a level deeper and really start to see how they're interacting with your emails and create segments based on those behaviors. So you can really kind of pinpoint who are the buyers that are actively interested in what you're offering versus those who aren't engaging with your emails at all. And then you can create follow-up segments or follow-up emails to that segment of buyers who have been actively clicking and opening your emails. You know that they're more likely to buy than those who aren't taking action. And in line with that, it allows you to provide more relevant content based on those behaviors, and it also allows you to re-engage those people who aren't opening those emails or who aren't engaging with those emails. So it really ultimately allows you to create a more advanced marketing funnel for the products and services you offer. So now we're to the point in the webinar where I wanted to go through 4 use cases, and I'm gonna do this kind of jumping back and forth between the presentation here and also the Aweber account. So here's the 4 use cases I want to run through: segmenting your audience right away, and then one-click segmentation into a campaign, followed by segmenting your audience at the end of an email campaign, and then lastly, sending a re-engagement email based on the tags that are being applied to your subscribers. Excuse me. So first off, the first case is segmenting your audience right away. So what are we doing here? We're segmenting your subscribers in your first welcome email, the first email they get from you after signing up. And why would we do this? Well, it lets subscribers choose their own adventure. It helps you learn more about your audience and allows you to send more targeted one-time broadcasts in the future as well. Okay, here's an example of what that might look like, the first email, based on the examples I've shown you before, the sign-up form with the 20% off coupon. This would be the first email they get. Thanks for signing up for the exclusive discounts. Below is your 20% off coupon. We offer a wide selection of these things. What types of cases are you looking for? And it allows them to sign up self-select and the things that they may be interested in, which allows you to provide more meaningful and relevant content to them in the future. So let me jump back into the account here. I've set up a couple lists to kind of demonstrate how this would work. Okay. All right. So I've built out 3 campaigns here for iPhone buyers, for Android buyers, and for tablet buyers. Okay. And these are based off of, you can see that these campaigns start whenever a subscriber is tagged with iPhone for the iPhone buyers, Android for the Android buyers, and tablet for the tablet buyers. So how do we go about tagging them? Well, I'm going to demonstrate how we do that through that first email that they get. Okay. So I've built out this campaign in a draft format here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. So this campaign will be applied whenever they're tagged with the coupon. So this is related to that coupon message that we talked about. All right, so I'm going to add my first message here, and I'm going to find my 20% off coupon email. Go ahead and add that. I'm going to apply a wait period, and then I'm going to follow up. Well, actually, I'm jumping ahead a little bit too quickly here. So this allows you to send them the 20% off coupon. But then talking about automations, we can start adding automations to this. So I'm going to go ahead on the right here in this message and add an automation. If a subscriber does this action, clicks a link, I'm going to have them apply a tag. And let's first select our link. So let's do the iPhone cases as the link. Okay. And then whenever they click that link, I'm going to apply the tag iPhone. And then I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to add another automation here because there's 3 links in that message. I'm going to go with the next one, which is Android. And I'm going to apply a tag for Android. And then one last automation because there was a 3rd link in there for tablets. So I'm going to go ahead and find my tablets link. And then I'm going to select my action here to add a tag for tablet. And hit apply. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and save and exit. And then what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and activate this. So anytime a subscriber comes in through this campaign here, and if they click on any one of those links within that email, they're going to be tagged with those tags that we had mentioned before, and they're going to be started on any one of these campaigns here, based on the tag that they were applied. Okay. We jump back over it. We're going to run through the next scenario here. So the next scenario or use case would be the one-click enrollment into a campaign. So what does that mean? That's when a subscriber clicks a link, a tag is added, and 1 or more automated emails are sent. So why would we do this? We would do this because it allows a prospect or customer the opportunity to opt in for more information without signing up for a whole new list, without filling out their information again, and allows you to create targeted emails that will increase the likelihood of a sale. So here's an example of what an email like that might look like. So going back to the previous example of that first email they get, gives them the coupon, but also allows them to self-select and provide you a little bit more information about what they might be interested in. This email follows that up with perhaps an additional piece of information or additional some additional products or services. So right here it says you can give your mobile device some personality. You can design your own mobile case that fits your mood, personality, interests, and more. Start designing your own. So this is promoting a sort of a custom designed case. So let me jump back into the demo here. So I've built out this one right here, the single click enrollment example. So let's jump in here. So here's our 20% off coupon email that we had previously added. Okay, it's got the automations already built in there. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to add a new message. So I'm going to put a wait period between the first message and the second message. I'm going to go select the email that is promoting the custom cases. And anytime, all right. So from here, what this is going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build out an automation because it's providing an additional link to the custom cases. I'm going to add a tag to that, and I'm going to make that custom. So now, not only do I know from the first email that they may be interested in iPhone cases, but now I know that they're interested in custom cases as well, custom design cases. So I can be a little bit more targeted with the communication I provide to them in the future, because I know that they're now interested in both iPhone cases as well as custom cases. All right, so that's a way for them to enroll or provide a bit more information or interest to you without having them go through the process of signing up or contacting you. It's a very easy way to segment your subscribers even further. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. I can launch that, activate that campaign. So that means that anytime someone subscribes through the form, they're gonna get their 20% off coupon. They're gonna tell me what they're interested in. Are they interested in iPhone, Android, or tablet cases? And then a day later, they're going to get an email from me about custom case design. And if they do click on that link, it will allow me to gain a bit more insight into what they might be interested as well. All right, the next scenario here is creating a segment of your audience at the end of an email series. So what does that mean? A segment, you would segment your subscribers following all the emails that they first get. So that'd be the last email in that series of emails. Why would you do this? Well, first of all, it lets your subscribers choose their own adventure, and it lets you learn more about your audience and to be able to send more targeted one-time broadcasts in the future. So the first example I gave was about segmenting your audience at the beginning of your series. This is very similar in that the only exception that you're going to do it at the end of the series. I'll show you what that looks like. Oops. Jump back in here. Oops. Sorry about that. 1 second. There we go. My apologies. All right. So I've created a second list here to kind of demonstrate what that looks like here. All right. So here's our segmenting your audience at the end. So similar to the previous one, we're going to create first apply that first message. We're going to find that first message, which is your 20% off coupon. But you'll notice this one's different. It doesn't have the self-selection on this. It just has the coupon and a link to go shop for those cases. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a wait period here, and then I'm going to add another message after that, and I'm going to select that second message, which allows them to self-identify what they might be interested in. So very similar to the first scenario, where they're self-selecting, only you're doing it at the end of the series versus at the very beginning. And with this, I would also go through the process of adding my automations in the same way that I did previously with iPhone cases, Android cases, and so on. I won't go through the process for the interest of time, but you'd follow that exact same process of adding automations for each of those links throughout that. So I'm going to hit save. All right. Now that brings us to the last scenario here, which is sending a re-engagement email. So what does this mean? It means that you would check to see if someone's opened an email, and if not, you'd send them a kind reminder or a nudge to take some action. Why would you do this? Well, it increases the likelihood that your messages are getting read without blasting the entire list. You can really pinpoint who hasn't engaged with you and provide them a little nudge or a little reminder about that information. Here's an example of what that might look like from my mobile outfits example. So let's say that they got that 20% off coupon in the email. They've also got that second email which asked them to sort of self-select what they might be interested. Let's say that they didn't engage with any of those previously, and you want to provide them one more incentive to take some action, and you decide that you want to give them an additional 10% off on their next purchase, which is a full 30% off their purchase. So you provide them a new coupon code with a link to go buy or shop for those mobile cases. So let me jump back into the campaign and show you what that would look like. So here's our first email, the 20% off coupon. It's followed up a day later with this email, which is asking them to self-select what they might be interested in. And you want to add one more. Let's say they didn't engage with either of these. Okay, you want to add one more email to this to re-engage them. So I'm going to find my re-engagement email. Here's the 10% off, additional 10% off email. So what I need to do here at this point is if someone were to go through this campaign, and if let's say that they took advantage of, they clicked on some of these links, you wouldn't want to send them this additional 10% off because they did engage. So you want to make sure that anybody who engages or clicks or opens these first two emails gets removed from this campaign so that they're not also getting that additional 10% off. So what you would do is when you're adding your automations here, you would select that link. Let's say it's this one right here. And if they do click on that link and they go to the website to go make a purchase, you're going to add a note here, customer, and you're going to add an additional action here to remove them from the campaign. That way, they're not going to continue to get the emails in this campaign. You're removing them because they're now a customer with an intent to buy. The purpose of this re-engagement email is to engage those who haven't clicked or those who haven't opened your emails previously. So you want to remove people from this campaign as they do interact with your emails. So I won't go through all of those, but that just to kind of show you what that means. The purpose there is you don't want to provide an additional. You don't need to provide an additional discount to people who have already clicked and gone to the website to make a purchase. This is intended to re-engage those who haven't. All right. And so jumping back to the presentation here. So a couple things coming with Aweber. We're going to be releasing automations within broadcasts, which are those one-time emails. Currently, automations, the click and open automations are only available in the email automation campaigns, but soon they'll be available in broadcasts as well. So you can send a one-time email and tag people based on what links and they're clicking or what emails they're opening. And then there'll be more triggers and actions to come in the future. Right now, we just have clicks and opens. We're looking to add some more triggers and actions to that list as well. And then real quick, the last step, once you've got your incentive, once you've got your sign up form, once you've got your email campaigns all set up, ready to go, now you can really start driving your customers there and start promoting your incentive. There's a number of ways to do that. Leveraging your current traffic on your blog or your website if you have a website. Using social media, although it doesn't have as great of reach, it still is an effective way to get people onto your email list. You can advertise, spend some money on social media and Google search to drive some traffic to that incentive. You can use the mobile app that I mentioned previously with the sign-up form. If you go to a lot of physical events, you can use it to collect subscribers there as well. For those of you who are Amazon sellers, you can add a printed marketing piece within your private label product package, highlighting your incentive, and with an easy to read or easy to follow URL that they can go to and sign up for that incentive. So there's any number of ways that you can build traffic to your incentive and build your email list in that way. So that's it. That's all I have. I wanted to quickly just let you know that we do offer a 30-day free trial of Aweber. Here's a link through Karen's affiliate account. So I'd encourage you, if you're interested in learning a bit more and trying it out for yourself, to go through this link, marketingwords.com/Aweber, and start your free 30-day trial and give it a go. And I'm always here as well as a resource. So if you have questions, you can reach out to me. You can also reach out to Karen. She's also, she mentioned she's been using Aweber for a number of years, and so she's very knowledgeable as well when it comes to email marketing. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and break for questions. I don't see any questions that have been submitted throughout, but if you have any questions, you can go ahead and submit them into the question window within GoToWebinar, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Or if you think of something later, you're mulling this over and how to do your email marketing, and you have questions that are specific to your situation, go over to Facebook on the Marketing Words page, and you can ask your questions there. And if I don't have the answer, then I'll bring Brandon in, and between the two of us, we'll get you an answer. So just go to Facebook and search in the search box for Marketing Words, or you can go to facebook.com/marketingwords, and you can ask your questions on that page if you think of them another time. Brandon, it's been absolutely wonderful. It is so cool to see all the stuff that you can do now that you haven't been able to do in past years, and the things that Aweber has coming out in the future. And I really appreciate you taking the time to give such detailed examples and walk through campaigns and click this and it automatically puts them here, and click that and it automatically takes them away, and all sorts of things are flying through my imagination about ways to use this for for services, for Amazon sellers who are trying to build their own customer lists, for brick and mortar stores. I mean, just e-commerce stores, all kinds of ways. So it's really exciting stuff.
Ways to splice and dice it. I tried to put myself in the shoes of an Amazon seller or an e-commerce store. So I don't know if I did a great job at it, but I tried to put myself in your shoes and give you some examples that might be a little more, a little closer to what your audience might be doing. But like you said, there's any number of ways that you can, set up your email automations. You can get really creative and do any number of things. I'm always amazed and always surprised when I come across a customer who's doing something unique, and it's fun to kind of see how businesses are tackling email automation and doing it in fun and creative ways as well. So I'm here as a resource. If you ever have questions, feel free to reach out to me as well. Happy to help.
Doesn't Aweber have a blog?
We do. So if you go to blog.aweber.com, I didn't put a link in the slides here, but blog.aweber.com, and I can put a link in the follow-up email as well. But we've got tons and tons of resources there. We blog on a regular basis and provide a lot of great educational information about how to get started with email marketing, all the way up to advanced users who are trying to get better at it. So there's tons of information there as well.
Good resource. Good resource. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate your time so much. Thanks, everybody, for being around with us. And if you think of something later, use the contact information on the screen for Brandon directly, or go over to facebook.com/marketingwords and you can ask your question there. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a great afternoon.
Thanks, Karen. Take care. Thanks, everybody.